Before we begin, thank you very much to Ben M for joining the Patreon campaign. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you for helping to keep the channel going and all of the daily content coming. Very, very appreciated. We're in a new month, which means probably like tonight or tomorrow night, I will be uploading the next 3 archives of the classic TJ TV episodes. And this one is going to include the one that people ask me for the most, which is the top 10 WTF moments of Kamen Rider. So if you've ever wanted to watch that video again, it's going to be up on the Patreon. Hope you enjoy it. It's literally the only way I can safely upload it online anymore. But all of that out of the way, there's actually one other announcement. Like, I've got a really big video in the works, something I never thought I'd be able to do in my life. And I can say nothing besides that, except to say, hopefully I have it out on the 4th. That's the earliest I can drop it. So keep an eye out. The algorithm might not like one of my upcoming videos this week. So if you don't get a notification that I posted, just go to my channel. I will have posted something and it's very, very important. Just a heads up. Okay, so we need to start. Let's get into the news roundup. So normally with the news roundup, I start with the coolest, biggest toy news of the week. None of that matters right now because there's no more important news than this. Gary Chalk, after receiving a experimental form of chemotherapy, the first in Canada to receive it, he has actually won his battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He is in remission officially, and that is fantastic news. Absolutely wonderful. I'm thrilled that he pulled out. So congrats, Gary. Hope you have hope I could get to still hear you for a long time to come. So great news for the week out of the way. I thought I'd start with like a little upbeat thing rather than tacking it on at the end. The other point here is that there really isn't a whole lot of huge toy news this week. There's no rumors out. There's no like new leak of anything. What we have this week are in-hand photos of new toys and things that are still not out. Tons of them. Tons of them. Are you ready for a gauntlet of new toys? Here we go. We'll start with the Shield D Prime, the combination between Zoids, Transformers, and Diaclone Reboot, which means this thing is ridiculously expensive. It does look really, really cool, though. You get pilots just like the Diaclone figures. It has some Diaclone interconnectability. And of course, yeah, it just makes for a really good looking Shield Liger in beast mode. And yes, it transforms into Optimus Prime. There's a lot going on here. Look, 5 different projects are combined to make this thing. Here was the fascinating thing to me. 2 AAA batteries. Now, normally, like, I know it lights up in the head, and that's great, but it feels weird that you have, like, such big batteries just for light-up LEDs, which are typically handled by watch batteries, like little, like, button cell batteries these days. Little bit weird. It's a little bit weird, but you know what? However they wanted to work it. But yeah, beast mode looks fantastic. It's great. Shield Liger represent. You can see just from the size of the hand here how big this toy is. It is properly huge, like old school leader class huge. Like if you imagine like how big, it's hard to imagine in my hand. He'd be like modern commander or like big, like classic leader size. He big. I don't think we have comparison photos in this gallery. We just have a lot of really, really nice pictures of a really, really cool crossover. So yeah, out of my price range, but super neat to look at. Very, very cool. Very, very excited to see more of that. Excited to see it in with other Transformers so I can actually properly see how big it is. We also have more in-hand shots of the upcoming Evangelion Prime. And again, I reiterate the thing I say every single time. This looks way better than it has any right to. I'm not an Evangelion fan, but even I just stare at this and go, that actually looks really, really good. I think they chose a really, really good mold to actually make this Prime from. It's actually really good use of the actual design. And yeah, it looks great. It looks absolutely fantastic for what it's going for. Geez, like that movie-esque like aesthetic on Prime actually kind of works in the purple. Weirdly enough, works in the purple. The one thing is, it's great to see the accessories. I see like the switch up to the Matrix. That's another thing from Evangelion, which I do not know, but it's kind of cool to see that they worked it into the Matrix. That's a neat little trick. The one thing is, I'm still waiting for a gallery to actually show me how the head flip works. I know they showed it previously. I know it's somewhere out there. I don't know. I just like the gallery to actually show it off for me, please. Also, little hair stuck there, little hair. So it's a cool figure. Even if it's not my thing, I can stare at it and go, ooh, pretty, well made, well done. One more for you, a convoy for you. So we have the Nemesis Prime from Missing Link, which is now in hand. There's really like no surprises here. We've seen plenty of Missing Link Optimus at this point. This is just the Nemesis color scheme of it. Really nothing more to say about that. It is still looking fantastic. This is still a really cool toy lineup, though it is a weird choice to get Nemesis before we get any other Decepticons in this toy line. Like, we're just kind of sitting here going like, well, let's put it this way. It was weird to get this weird orange Sentinel that came out of absolutely nowhere for this toy line. Instead of like a proper Decepticon, like a Starscream or a Soundwave. Soundwave seems very easy to do for this line. Seems like that's a very natural progression to go to. Still, cool. You know me by now. You've been watching this channel long enough. I'm not huge on the straight up G1 design being done up in the Nemesis color scheme because it always feels a little bit forced. But it doesn't look too bad on this Missing Link. Dramatic capture. So here is Skywarp with the Insecticons. And a plethora of accessories for everybody. A Soundwave, a Reflector, a Megatron, a Shockwave, and Energon cubes in 2 different sizes. You're getting a ton. Like, you would buy this just for the accessory pack. Some of you out there would. I know you would. So we get the cartoon accurate Insecticons, although the chest still being translucent plastic is weird. Like, I still feel weird about the yellow translucent in here when everything else is solid plastic. Also, like, it's always like, when I see this in hand, I like the shot of like everyone using themselves. That's a fun shot to get. And yeah, they don't look too bad once they're all together in the robot modes. That's fine. I have to remember, this is one of those things where like nostalgia blinds me a little bit, and I can never remember if G1 Skywarp is supposed to have the purple shoulders or the black shoulders. But I've seen, like, now we have 2 claiming accurate deco when, you know, they're doing opposite things in that regard. Okay, that's a good shot. So dramatic capture is continuing because we're getting the movie Optimus and Jetfire as the next one. God, the box is huge. Yeah, but like I almost wish that, like, this is where I kind of wish Hasbro and Takara were willing to do accessory packs, because I would just love to just buy all, like, dramatic capture in general. A lot of figures lately have been coming with accessories that would be great if I didn't have to buy, you know, a pack of 4 figures I already own in order to get them. Well, is what it is. Still a neat set. I'm glad they got all 3 of the Seekers out at the very least. All 3 of the main Seekers, let's say. It's always weird to me to see the Insecticons in cartoon colors, because it reminds me that Bombshell is supposed to be gray. Like, it just feels more right to have him in purple and better match the other Insecticons. I don't know. It's just like, it's one of those things my brain keeps tricking me on. So I will admit, some of the toys that are in all these like new images things, we've seen plenty of times before. So we're only going to talk about them so many more times, and this is probably the last time we are mentioning this Astrotrain. So the more I stare at this, the more I hate this. The arms are way too scrawny. Like, putting the animation model next to it is the worst thing. Because it does bring up some things that are more accurate, like the multi-layered chest. Okay, fine. But also the panels on the sides of the legs need to be farther down. The purple is the wrong shade. The arms are way too scrawny. The toy in general is way too scrawny. And then, yeah, the midsection, which apparently now people are claiming that the midsection is the unpaintable palm plastic, hence why he does not have his belly. And that robs him of like the one piece of coloring that design desperately needs to break up all that gray. It's a frustrating figure in all forms. The train mode transformed properly looks good, you know? And then that robot mode just has so many flaws to it. At the very least, I hate seeing how many like hinges and panels there are so obviously. I think that's an element a lot of people aren't bringing up. It's the fact that it just looks broken up no matter what you do, even properly transformed. It just looks like, like you've done something wrong. Like, I hate to keep the Siege figure as my Astrotrain with the tech greeble being too much heavier than the rest of my collection and the battle damage on it. Maybe I get the dramatic capture of that. But what am I supposed to do? Like, I really, really do not like the look of this Astrotrain. I will say I'm not going to begrudge it for the backpack because, frankly, every Astrotrain has had that backpack in one way or another outside of like Titan's Return. Like, it's on the G1, it's on a lot of third party, it's on the classics, it's all over the place. So I'm not arguing that. If anything, it's actually accurate. They did dedicate engineering to something with it, though. Like, see, there's how the back of him is supposed to look. They did something to it. So I will give a credit. I do like that he comes with effect parts to show the blast off effect that also work as like blast, like actual like gun blast effects. That's a neat trick. I like that. This is the part I'm not happy about, is just like they dedicate engineering to like having this fold down to look like it did in the 86 movie, boarding the Decepticons. And you could say, well, it's just one panel. It was like, yeah, but there's a lot of space that's dedicated to that panel. It's just weird. I know ultimately it's not like hindering the robot articulation, but it's still, or engineering, or that is. But like, it's weird to see any engineering go into something this like unnecessary when the rest of it seems to have suffered so badly. Also, someone pointed out, like, it's way smaller than the Siege. It's like, it's small, like it's taller than the Siege, but it's thinner and it's smaller in the vehicle modes, and it's way smaller than Megatron. So the scale does not feel correct. So yeah, like this is just continuing to bug me. It's continuing to bug me. I just want a good Astrotrain. That's all. All right. Upcoming wave of deluxes. So we have Ratchet, who is retooled from Trailbreaker, and I kind of called that ages ago. That would be a pretty easy, generationified animated Ratchet to do. They still have the broken horn, so they got that right. Overall, I do think it looks okay. It's obviously it's not nearly as smooth as a proper animated Ratchet would be, but across from like the Bumblebee, the Prowl, and the others that they've done, this will look just fine. It'll be like, it's just a modern update to like the original designs. The Power Glide continues to look really good. I'm still not entirely sold on the shade of gray they used for him. I still feel like that could have been like a slightly better shade. But overall, yeah, it's still great to see. And I love that he does come with a mask from Hoist Goes Hollywood. That's the first time we've seen that outside of the Masterpiece line, which is kind of neat. Jet Mood looks great. No argument there. I'm still on the fence about this smokescreen because it doesn't quite go for smokescreen from Transformers Prime. It doesn't quite feel right, like, I don't know, like it's kind of hitting, but it's kind of not. And like, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from how good the toy looks. It looks good, but it doesn't quite strike me the way I think. It doesn't quite strike me as smokescreen. I almost get more vibes of like RID 15 Jazz, the way that it's designed and engineered, or some like Bumblebees from around Transformers Prime era. I still have a lot of people, and me included, who think this might be retooled into another Knockout and give that design another shot. But I still argue that even that's not going to look the way Knockout needs to look. We've got Swerve as well. and swerve his knee. It's weird to see the big side panels on the head not turn with the head, because I just acknowledge as like that should just be part of his head, not just like two tall stacks next to it. It's a little bit weird. I mean, overall still looks fine though. I mean, it's pretty easy retool of gears, so no real argument there. I say easy retool. They have done the work to retool it to be more accurate to the original animation model, which was closer to the toy design. So it's cool. Like the fake wheels and the shoulders. Like, that's cool. They've actually done a little bit of extra work on them. So like noticing that like floaty head beside the other parts that are supposed to be his head, it's just struck me as really weird. There's a few other shots of Power Glide someone else posted, but nothing we hadn't seen in the previous ones. Just so you have a little bit more to go off of. There's a full video showing the transformation for Nexus Prime, and it's pretty much as disappointing as you could imagine. So his torso is basically just panels folded together. They unfold in order to create the shell of the vehicle mode that gives the arms a spot to tuck away. The legs just kind of fold up to increase the size of the box. And in a tradition that Pretender fans can appreciate, the only reason this thing looks like a jet is because his weapons have wings on them. Otherwise, this would just look like a block with a cockpit attached to it. So yeah, it's still a very unimpressive, uninspired figure, a very lackluster way to, technically end the 13, even though they keep going, there's one more. Like, no, you did Vector Prime in the last toy line. Okay, congratulations. You're going to re-release them in Age of the Primes packaging for the sake of consistency and mint in box collectors. It's still out already. And there's an approximation of the torso mode as well. The head designs is fine. I'm not arguing that. It still just feels very ick. Like, it's just such a generic design compared to the other 13. It's too bright compared to the other 13. He's going to stand out way too much. The vehicle mode is uninspired. The transformation's uninspired. Like, this is just like, I shouldn't want to make a toy into a Plastic Addict episode because it's bland, especially when the toy isn't technically out yet. But oh my god, is this making a case? There's also in-hand shots of Lege Maximo. This is another one where we've gotten tons of shots of the toy. I don't think we need to really see any more of him from here on out. So he'll probably be missing the news roundup from here on. But it does still look like a fantastic toy. I love how much that they have worked in. You got a full shot of the instructions. If you actually want to see how he transforms, actually has a lot going on, considering he turns into a satanic avocado. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad for an avocado. I mean, I'm not insulting him or anything. Yes, he fits the throne. We acknowledged for a while now that he fits the throne. Yeah, he's still just looking like a really, really cool figure. I feel like all the cool from Nexus Prime went into making Lege Maximo. That's probably not fair, but it's what it feels like. Speaking of really cool, there's more shots of Frequency from the upcoming collab with Stranger Things. This is again a toy that we've seen plenty of in-hand shots of, so until it's officially released, we are probably not going to talk about it again. But I'm actually really excited for this. As I said, don't watch Stranger Things, doesn't interest me, but we have very, very rarely gotten a proper van transformer. Like, just like an old school type of van, and that's exactly what this is. It looks really, really good. Can we get a... Okay, so you know how the you know how we got the crossover for Ninja Turtles? Can we get this like the Channel 6 news van? Pretty please. And yes, the rubber chicken gun, which is a very amusing addition. I just think the toy looks really, really solid. Look at the robot mode on him. He looks really, really good. And I love that they actually worked in a Soundwave-esque gimmick with like the 8-track in his belly that transforms. That's a neat trick. That's a neat trick. Yeah, it just looks like an overall good toy. It's like everything, like, yeah, look. I had so many people hyping up Code Red when people got him in hand, going like, "Oh my god, they finally got Van Transformers right." And I pick it up and go, "This is really unimpressive. He looks like he's been stretched out in a taffy machine." But no, Frequency, well proportioned, solid looking, like just unique alt mode. I really, really want this thing. I do not care about Stranger Things, but I really, really want this thing. We're like 20 minutes in. I do apologize for how long this one's going to go on, but there's so many new images. There's so many toys to talk about. Here's Cranics. Now, someone asked me if Cranics was going to shelf warm, and I said, like, oh yeah, she's going to shelf warm hard. So it's not just about like, like recognition from fans, which this Cranics is frankly going to have very little of that. But it's also about characters looking cool for kids in the store as well. Like when they see them in patches, they got to go, oh, that looks neat. Cranics doesn't look neat. Cranics looks completely accurate to how he looked in the 86 movie, which for us fans is perfect. But he doesn't look neat. He looks weird and kind of dull for the standards of Transformers. Showing him with a bunch of Sharkticons is hilarious. I have like probably like between all size classes in the last decade, probably like a dozen Sharkticons waiting for Cranics when he shows up. I am happy he got a figure. I'm actually excited for him and his flying platypus mode. But I acknowledge this is going to shelf warm hard. So don't panic about getting your hands on this one. You're going to be fine. He'll be around. Don't worry. Looks cool for us collectors. Doesn't really look cool for the casual market or the kid market. So even though we've seen it already, Takara put out some teasers for upcoming dramatic captures. So we have, the teaser for Jet Optimus Prime. Looks cool. We've seen it already though. And also a teaser for MPG cassettes, which all look cool. And I believe we've also seen these as well. It's weird to tease things that have already been announced and revealed, but marketing is funny like that sometimes. Speaking of marketing being funny, there's like a brand new news post on TFW for the Yolopark's AMK Pro Tarn. We did a video of this weeks ago. I even submitted it to TFW along with a photo gallery, and this is the one that made the front page weeks later. This one is officially from Yolopark though, so I kind of understand why. So if you want to see more of it, I did a full review. Please go check the channel for it. It's an absolutely fantastic figure. Very, very impressive piece. Still standing very prominently in my collection. He ain't going anywhere. Like he is gonna stay right on the shelves because he is probably the best looking Tarn I've ever seen. But Yolopark not done. So here's AMK Optimus Primal in hand. Looking exceptionally screen accurate. Really, really nice. Again, like designs that are a little bit hard to replicate in transforming toys. I really advocate for non-transforming figures like this because we do want those options that make them look the way we remember them in the cartoon. And sometimes when they have to turn into a truck or jet, that's not possible. So it's nice to have these as a solution to that. And it looks like a very, very good one. With that said, I'm way more excited for the Dinobot that's coming out. I hate that they made his sword purple. It's chrome. Stop making it purple just because of lighting in one scene. None of that matters though. The color and paint on him is perfect. He looks like he walked right out of animation. I absolutely love it. Now, granted, I have the masterpiece on display in my collection. It's a beautiful piece. It looks very, very good. It does have this huge squared off backpack to hide all of his raptor bits. So again, this being a lot more screen accurate since it doesn't have to worry about transforming does mean that it is very high up on my to get list. So very, very cool. Very much looking forward to that. And with that, we're out of the new look toys. We're out of the look at all the new toys coming out. Are you like, oh my God, we only have a couple things left to cover for the rest of this video. So don't worry, we can kind of zip through this. So, more artwork for unreleased construct bots based on Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 showed up. These are the smaller size scale for the toys that came with these really big, like spinny gimmick weapons. So here we have the Optimus Prime in both modes. We have a Grimlock, way more like scrawny and like proportioned in this iteration. Doesn't look too bad in the construct bot mode. Like, I feel like if construct bots got this accurate, like, and just looked this good from the get-go, they might have done a lot better. I get that feeling. Oh, and Underbite as well, getting one. And Underbite, again, Underbite actually looks good. I'm kind of sorry this didn't come out. Again, like, we want them to look like how they look. So when your Bionicle-esque line, fails to do that, then yeah, like, it doesn't go too well for you. But this, I think, would have done a lot better. Skybound has announced that the next, mega comic for Worst Bot Ever is on the way. So it is the continued adventures of Ballpoint. As Ballpoint struggles to fit in with his new Autobot friends, a mishap with an experimental weapon causes him to swap bodies with the most feared Decepticon of them all, Megatron. And hijinks ensue. So these are just silly, nonsensical, out of context, out of continuity comic books that Skybound is doing. It's a funny little diversion kind of book, and they are very, very large books. You're basically buying a complete graphic novel without having, that just never came out as individual issues. So if you like the first one, you got more on the way. And we're going to wrap it up because for those who happen to live in Taipei, you get to see the new Lantern Festival that is co-starring Transformers. So let's see, what else do we have? We have a Transformer-themed light installations, including a 10-meter tall Optimus Prime lantern. We have a Bumblebee Infinity Mirror, a Megatron Space Bridge Portal Lantern, a retro arcade-shaped lantern featuring Optimus and Megatron, and Optimus Prime mini lanterns to be distributed to visitors. So a lot going on. You can see it's all evergreen style designs. Of course it is, but it seems like a very impressive display if you happen to be in Taipei. Not one I will be able to make the trip to, but kind of cool that this is getting put on. I want to see video and photos of the light shows. That's what I think would need. But yeah, it's going on right now. Will be going on until the 15th. So if you happen to be in that part of the world, there you go. And after a very long time, that is the news roundup for the week. As I said, just so many new toys to look at, but that's how it goes sometimes. So thank you all for watching, and as always, I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.